Hey everybody, and welcome to a marathon of Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. We're going to be playing for a couple of hours today as we prepare for the full release on December the 7th, 2023. I'm still accessing the beta, and yeah, we're going to dive right into it. Thanks to Owlcat for sending over a copy of the game. I did 4 episodes on this earlier this year. That is super well. I wanted to do one more last hurrah before the full release, which I'll be covering for sure. In some way, shape, or form, I'll be covering it before the end of the year. So, yeah, let's dive into it. Let's see what this has changed, because there's been a couple of updates since I last played. So I want to see what it's about. We're going to start a new story mode. And, yeah, let's dive into it. So if you're new here, make sure to subscribe for new Warhammer stuff. Every few days, I do a lot of Warhammer stuff. And be notified. Turn on the notification bell. So without further ado, let's dive into it. Take up the mantle of a rogue trader, a scion of an ancient dynasty of daring privateers that reign over their trade protectorate and explore the fringes of the known galaxy. Darkness looms over the bloodline of Von Valancius as it faces multiple dangers, from a traitor amongst its ranks to the numerous enemies seeking to destroy the most daring and brave agents of humanity. It is up to you to hold the reins of Shadow Protectorate and forge a new path for the rogue trader dynasty that finds itself in the vortex of wars, intrigues, calamities, and heresy. The stakes rise as you cross the paths of the most powerful adversaries and rivals that chase their own gold in the darkness of Koronus Expanse. We're going to leave all our settings the same. Create custom. Do we want to do a custom character? Or do we want to do one of the, let's do a custom character. Why not? Implants. Alright, portrait. Let's do portrait first. I like this one. Appearance. Body type. Let's do skinny boy. There. Hair. That's extravagant. I don't mind that hair. So we'll do that hair. We need a hair color change. Eyebrows. I like those. Eyebrows color, we'll do that as well. Some nice stubble on the beard. Tattoo. We're gonna leave tattoo off. Where do you see the implant? That's a good question. Where do you see the implant? I don't know. Just leave it as is. Voice. Play it.
I'll see you terminated.
Bold male. That's a lot of options. Let's do the Forge World Analytics implants. And what do we want to be? Do we want to Astra Militarum, Commissar, Vagabond, Minister and Priest, Navy Officer, Noble, Sanctioned Psyker, or Diviner? Well, these 3 are missing content because it's still the beta. So let's do the Vagabond. I like these skills, so let's do the Vagabond. Kind of skip through those because they're still works in progress. Doctrines, fighter, leader, adept doctrine, marksman. Let's do the hunter. Fighter. Can we only do the one? Alright, we'll just do fighter then. Or marksman. We'll do marksman. I'm indecisive. 30 points left. 5 into weapon skill. 10 into strength. 5 into intelligence. 5 into agility. And 5 into willpower. We'll use the Von Valantius flagship. Leave that same name. And there's our character card. There's what we're going to be. And who we're going to be. Name, Seren the Magnificent. Alright. Let's dive right in. We did about 90 minutes of this before today, and I had a blast with it. And then kind of just, you know, things got in the way, and I couldn't get back to the game. I got busy in real life, and I just decided, why not sit down and let's record like an hour or two of this today and put it out as a marathon. I don't do marathon videos often, so we're going to do a marathon, see how this does, see how I enjoy it, see how people enjoy it, and go from there. Because if the marathon format works, I might do it for Rogue Trader for release. Press the any key to continue. I don't have an any key, but I'll press the mouse button. An excellent place for contemplation. One has the best view of the cathedral from here. Mesmerizing, wouldn't you say? An impeccable manifestation of the God Emperor's sublimity. Have we met? Allow me to introduce myself. Koronus Expanse, Master of Whispers and the employee of her ladyship Rogue Trader Theodora von Valantius. At your service. I haven't had the pleasure of speaking with you in person before. My name is Seren the Magnificent. My regards, Seren the Magnificent, or should I say, Seren the Magnificent von Valantius, scion of a blessed rogue trader house in the service of the Imperium. Perhaps this kinship came as a shock to you. Understandably so, given that all evidence of the connection was lost in the generation separating you and Lord Captain Theodora. It required no small effort on the part of her ladyship's servants to discover and verify this blood tie, which has now made you one of the heirs of this dynasty. You have a curious title, Master of Whispers. What are your responsibilities? To put it plainly, I am the head of the network of spies and informers who serve the interests of House von Valantius. I uncover weak links both among Lady Theodora's retinue and in the ranks of her rivals. I eliminate our vulnerabilities and exploit those of others. You say I am one of the Rogue Trader's heirs, and there's another candidate. There are, and you will meet them soon enough. I assume you had some goal in mind when you decided to seek me out. Let us address it. But of course, I have come to invite you to a meeting with Lady Theodora. I imagine you have many questions for your patroness, and I am sure she has just as many questions for you. It is regrettable that you haven't yet had an opportunity to speak. It has been an arduous voyage thus far. The Lord Captain and Master Elthred von Valantius are conversing on the observation platform located in one of the wings on the officer's deck. Let us join them there. I shall accompany you. By the right of blood. Rogue Trader Theodora von Valantius desired to personally meet with the person recently brought aboard her flagship. The storm is brewing over the dynasty, so the Lord Captain has something important to share with Her Honor if she'll ever get that chance.
Victory awaits.
Let's go then. Some objects in the game can be interacted with in a special way. They are marked with a specific icon. Some will allow to study objects, others will transfer the character to neighboring locations or launch a small event. Click LMB on the icon to perform the corresponding action. Some interactive objects, such as doors or chests, are not always marked with icons. A massive conference table, obviously crafted with real wood, a resource of incredible value aboard a voidship. Bridge officers, hello there. Let's touch. Incomprehensible information is displayed on a large screen above the cogitator. You can make out mentions of unfamiliar systems and worlds among the numbers and logisticar symbols.
A new challenge for me?
Are we to the point we need to be, Mr. Voigtveer? Okay, there we go. I didn't know what was going on there. Master whispers, it's an emergency. This esteemed Lord Captain's pet has broken the bolt on its cage and escaped.
I'll see you terminated.
A wild xenobeast held in the cage for amusement has escaped. For amusement, the rampaging creature needs to be stopped. Yeah, we need to stop it. So what is this? Start the battle? A Janusian Lacerax. All battles in the game are turn-based. On their turn, the character can move, attack, and use their abilities. Okay?
Let's see how they respond to this.
Let's shooty shoot. I'd like to shooty shoot.
Not my specialty.
Oh, did I not shooty shoot? I guess I didn't shooty shoot. Okay. Oh, I did do it. Okay. Down to 8 hit points. Not bad. So we got a bunch of bridge guards that are going to do their turn before the Lacerax. So I think the Lacerax should be down.
Opposing me was your
Oh, I did it. Okay. I can scarcely believe it on a day like this. What suspiciously poor timing for such an accident. A wild beast breaks free on the officer's deck at exactly the moment when the rogue trader and her heirs are gathered here. I have blocked all passages between the upper and lower sectors of the residential deck. If this is a deliberate attack, it should stop the culprits from advancing their plan. Spread out. No one is allowed to enter the premises. Stations. At your service, Mr. Voigtveer. I'm afraid I must remain here, Seren. For Lady Theodora's safety, I have to oversee the execution of these orders personally. I hope you'll have no difficulty reaching the observation platform on your own. This is just at the end of this corridor.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Well, let's go to the end of this corridor. What is this? Let's look through these. A violet alloy, which upon closer inspection turns out to be a crafted object. Symbols carved with a primitive tool are visible on the surface. A black shard that resembles obsidian. If you look closely, you discern a strange, barely perceptible glow inside the artifact.
None shall stand in my way.
A massive golden amalgam, interspersed with sparkling particles. The stone of the pedestal is no doubt solid, but its surface shimmers and changes hue as if someone captured a piece of the choppy sea.
It's about time.
A strange object that resembles a pelagic coral. The porous surface is pitted, a sign that it has been underwater. And the last one, a gray-green crystal with white veins. A low hum can be heard coming from the artifact.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Okay, we've made it to the end of the corridor. I guess go down here. Let's go down here. I don't know what's over here. Probably doesn't matter. It looks the same.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Neither will I, buddy. Okay. Didn't matter which way we went. It was probably going to take us the same way anyway. That is simply irrational, Lady Theodora. Assimilation into the trade structure will be political and economic suicide. Practically an admission of heresy. Then suggest an alternative that will satisfy me. I have described the situation. No words in my senescal could done. Make a decision. What will you do with Ion 6, Ethelthred? Your first impression of Ethelthred, who appears to be about 30 years old, is a parchment-like skin stretched over a tightly bundled mass of sinew, implants, and bone. The nervously twitching fingers, the face twisted by a slight tic, and the jerky movements are all signs of some illness or defect that has taken over its physical form. In stark contrast to Ethelthred, Theodora von Valantius' features appear as if they were carved from marble, eternal and indestructible. Head raised high, proud posture, hands clasped casually behind her back. Everything seems to emphasize the difference in status between her and Ethelthred. Behind the two of them, you see two more men. One is a gray-haired officer of impeccable bearing who is studying the contents of a data slate. The other is a behemoth, bristling with holsters and baldricks containing all manner of weapons. Our second candidate has joined us. Seren the Magnificent, approach and give me your answer. Consider this hypothetical situation. Ion 6, a new world on the fringes of the Koronus Expanse. High seismic activity, regular magma eruptions, metamorphic rock deposits. Prospect for large-scale mining. The world is populated by natives who worship some heretical underworld spirits that protect those who offer them sacrifices. Flights of fancy, you might say, but attempts to install ore extractors to fail for the second time. The mining crews sent to the planet's surface simply vanished overnight. My question to you is, what would you do with this poisoned treasure? Those spirits could well be the natives' name for dangerous alien. I would first verify that if that is indeed the case, and if the population of Ion 6 engages in Xeno worship. Reasonable and prudent. However, chasing after ethereal creatures may prove a rather long and fruitless endeavor. Apart from Xenos, an untrodden planet might be teeming with myriad horrors that are far more dangerous and difficult to eradicate. I suspect that you are simply unaware of their existence. I gave a straight answer to a simple question, which I understand was still more than you could do, Ethelthred. The color drains from Ethelthred's face, which distorts his features further. Ignorant, insolent, ignorant upstart, how dare you? Ethelthred, I believe I gave you an assignment on this ship. Explain to me then, why my senior congregator is still dawdling about the officer's deck instead of proceeding to the middle decks to commence the inspection of the compartments in its purview? I beg your forgiveness, Lady Theodora. Your presence has such a profound effect on me that I well forgot the time. Kiss up. So, Seren the Magnificent, why are you here? There are questions that I wish to have answered. Or no, I do not know just yet. I hope you will clarify that. Clarity, a luxury few of us can afford. There is a reason why I did not explain all the details of the question I posed to you earlier. Beyond the borders of the Imperium, seldom is one granted an opportunity to enjoy information in abundance. This, however, is one such opportunity. My name is Theodora von Valantius Massimo Afscaris. That's a long name there, Theodora. I'm going to call you Theodora. You okay with that? I'm a rogue traitor in the service of the God Emperor of humanity, and my rights and freedoms are vindicated by a most sacred relic, the warrant of trade kept aboard this very vessel. Mine is the honor to venture into the darkness beyond the Imperium and carry humanity's light where powers wicked and heretical reign and bow death and ruin to us all. It is my decision alone to determine the fate of whatever I find to pass the bounds of the explored void. Every world I discover, along with all there is to find thereon, resources, people, riches, and mysteries, is mine by right. I command millions of lives, rule over numerous planets, and possess fortunes that no planetary governor or commander could dream of amassing. And you, Seren the Magnificent, are one of those with the von Valantius blood in their veins and a rightful claim to this inheritance when the hour comes. I'm ready to take on this sacred purpose. Oh yes, you would be, wouldn't you? The question is, am I ready to choose you over the rest? You came aboard hours before the warp jump and have not yet distinguished yourself in any way. As things currently stand, I have doubts that you are suitable for the role of rogue traitor. Blood right alone is not enough to earn the high honor of becoming the bearer of a warrant of trade. Nonetheless, your abilities and talents may yet prove useful, if not for the role of Lord Captain, then for that of their closest ally. Ally. Alas, even those responsibilities can at times be too challenging for those who share your blood. Kunrad Voigtfear served me for many years before he made his mistake. Did I hear you correctly? The Master of Whispers is related to you. His kinship to me is most distant, as is yours. Nonetheless, he does bear the name von Valantius, even if he avoids using it publicly. and as such, strictly speaking, can be considered my heir. That door, however, is closed to him. Voidship's performance in his current role is satisfactory, or used to be at least. Thank you for clarifying. May I ask my question now? I have some time before the navigator gives the signal to initiate the voidship's translation out of the warhammer my presence is required on the bridge. Where is your ship headed? The Rycad system, the domain of Rogue Trader Winterscale, one of my peers and rivals. Only 3 rogue traders exist in the Koronus Expanse, and each of them possesses resources comparable to mine. Perhaps you will one day assist House Von Valantis in surpassing both of them in affluence and splendor. I set the course for Rycad on the demand, for a very specific reason. Perhaps I shall apprise you of the purposes for this voyage, but now is not the time. An incident took place on the officer's deck. A wild beast was roaming free and attacking anyone it ran into. Is that so? I do keep a number of pets native to one of my planets on the officer's deck. Perhaps one was careless during feeding time, or it could be the warp playing tricks on us in spite of the Jeller field, or perhaps our possessed ship was in mood for a lark. Lady Theodora, for the God Emperor's sake, surely you do not intend to start repeating idle rumors spread about by uneducated riffraff. Enough, Abelard. Such hearsay amuses me. Adira eagerly retells me everything she learns from the whispers of her unseen advisors. This ship is thousands of years old. It has enough hidden nooks, malfunctioning cogitators, and unused compartments to make ignorant folks speak of specters dwelling inside the bulkheads and plotting against those who yet live. Gracious Lord Captain, surely there are ways I can prove myself a worthy heir. You can start by not asking questions of this sort. I have no need for sycophants. I will draw my conclusion to when an opportunity to prove yourself arises. As for when you will be granted that opportunity, only the God Emperor knows. In that case, I shall head to disturbances report on the adjacent decks, Senescal. If the need arises, protect any blood. It is possible that the chance to prove your worth may present itself sooner than you may have anticipated.
Annihilate them!
Man, y'all suck at shooting. Alright, start the battle.
One fewer target. I took care of this one. To the heretics!
Ooh, I like your flamethrower there, Mort. I love your flamethrower. You missed. I missed.
Nothing I can't do. Already done.
Come on, try again. Yeah, there we go. So there's 4 left. Okay. That's all we can really do this turn. Let's end turn. Oh, they got a shot on Avalon. Rip. Nah, I don't care.
One fewer target. I took care of this one.
There's a few left. You missed with your flamethrower, bro. How do you do that?
Suits my purposes. You didn't stand a chance. I'll pass. Nothing I can't do. Nothing of value
Nice.
has been lost.
Headshot. Let's go. There's just one left. And we're done. We win. We are the winners. That was pretty easy. Which, to be expected for the first battle of the game. Mort, take a team with you and clear a path to the transport line. Do not let a single Horson survive. Didn't bat an eye when that scum burst on the deck, Not bad. I've seen many an officer who panicked at the sight of combat on the upper decks. The false sense of security makes them that much more susceptible to the harsh realities of warp transition. What is happening? From what we've seen, I can speculate that we are dealing with some variety of warp madness. Such episodes are not uncommon among voidsmen who have found themselves outside the boundaries of real space, though such episodes seldom spill onto their other decks. The caster is not working, or have been sabotaged. Either the warp is touring with us, or someone went to great lengths to cut the ship's communication. I will need a direct channel to the chief engine seer before I can get a sense of what we were up against. Whatever it may be, keep your weapons at the ready. I imagine it will be some time before we no longer need them. How could there be armed people in the ranks of the crew who could dare to attack the Lord Captain? Trust me, this is hardly surprising for a crew of thousands. The lower decks are a fertile environment for discontent and heresy. No matter how one tries to incinerate any seed before it can take root, all it can taste is a hint of a warp influence to cloud the minds of normally obedient cattle. So erratic riots on the lower decks never reach these compartments. No, the tumults of the rabble are always contained within their own territories. This is too well organized, it's spreading too rapidly. Mort is going on ahead to clear a path for us. If you want to make yourself useful, go after him and see if the Archmilitant requires aid, and be quick about it. Find the Archmilitant.
A new challenge for me?
Oh, I'm up here. I thought I was down there. Pay attention to your thing, Seren. There's a breakthrough attempt. Crew, 2 arms. Oh, rip. We gotta go. Probably gotta go around. I'm not going through that Hail Mary of fire. Thank Providence you were alive and well. Always on time, eh, Coonrad? The moment we finish chasing the riffraff around the deck, you show up. Always just after the fighting's done. You could set your chrono by it. Mort, pull yourself together. What, did the Lord Captain send you to chivvy us along? We're all done here. I'll report right away. Master whispers, what is happening on my ship? The Voxnet is silent. The Vox Master is not responding. Armed assailants have stormed the officer's deck, and my Archmilitant just destroyed several more heretics on the way here. Is this a severe case of warp madness? Has some of my crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and whom they serve? Report. I have not yet received word from the engineering regarding any jetter field failures, but communications were already unstable half an hour ago. Now they have ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are spreading fast. I am receiving scattered reports in the middle decks, and the only Voxcast in the lower bays are one-way heretical gibberish. That the madmen have already reached the officer's deck suggests that this outrage was planned in advance. Perhaps this is an organized mutiny. Mutiny? Who would attempt a mutiny here in the warp? Lunatics. Fools. Heretics. The ship houses thousands upon thousands of people. Prodigious thoughts and warp-induced delusions could have tainted any one of them. It's a difficult notion to accept, but some risks are unescapable. First, we have to confirm that the bridge and the navigator's sanctum are secure, and I have the means to do both things at once. Edelthread, where is he? I must know if he is unharmed. A psyker aboard a ship potentially being assailed by the warp could pose a greater threat to himself and others than a whole army of madmen with improvised weapons. I tried to locate him, but the last thing known about his movements said he arrived in Transitional Deck 18. Blast it. Master of Whispers, find Edelthread immediately. Send a scout. Locate Class and the Sister of Battle. Both are to remain at my side. Archmilitant, with me. I must go to my study, and it appears we might encounter heretics along the way. Is Seren the Magnificent? If I may, Lord Captain, Transitional Deck 18 is at the heart of the disturbance, and if our goal is to bring Edelthread back, I can use some support. After all, I'm not as adept at directly confronting enemies at the house as the esteemed Archmilitant, and taking into consideration Edelthread's psyker powers. Then it's settled. Send the Magnificent, find Edelthread, and return here, in any state. This elevator leads to restricted components such as my personal chambers and the bridge. Do not let me down. I require you both, do you understand? In any state, what does that mean? We're in the warp. Considering the attack, there could be a disruption in the Jeller field and the infiltration of malevolent forces onto the decks. Psychers might react to this in the most unpredictable ways. Enough. You, Master of Whispers, must not allow my heir to turn into a mindless mutant and to perish from Enforcer's fire. Do anything but bring me back Edelthread. I hear and obey, Lord Captain. Then move out. Mark, come. Are you ready to head to 18? It's a long walk and you do not even have proper gear. I shall you better not fail me. The Lord Captain made it clear that relying on you is fraught with risk. I see you have quickly earned Lady Theodora's trust if she is already sharing her closely guarded secrets with you, but that is no longer relevant. With a pop and a sharp crackle, something hit you in the abdomen, and you were consumed by unbearable, gut-wrenching pain. He backstabbed me. Of course he did. I promise you a special destiny, Seren the Magnificent. It is time to fulfill it. Well, is that destiny being in a coma? Is that where we're at? And there's the end of chapter 1. Obviously, we're going to keep going for quite a while longer. Because, well, I can press any key to continue. I forget that it doesn't load right back in. I kind of get looking at OBS and I don't look. Careful, be careful with our guest. He has an important mission to complete during our visits to the warrant chamber, and for that I need him breathing. You're back with us, I see. Delightful. What is the meaning of this? You must have hit your head harder than I thought. No matter. Very little is required of you. Just your blood, which you can either share on your own volition, or I will spill it for you. We are in the anteroom of the warrant chamber, this voidship's most hallowed vault. There, beyond those gates, lies the relic that gives Theodora all of her power, the sacred warrant of trade. Only one obstacle remains on my path to obtaining it. The gates of the chamber are guarded by the Sentinel, an ancient device that will only open the door to a true heir of the dynasty. I expected to do this part myself, but never mind. You will offer your blood to the Sentinel. What is it, inbred? Is your blood too thin for the Sentinel? On the contrary, the warp's blessing has raised me too much above your kind, Von Valentius. The Sentinel refused to submit to me, but you can help after all. Isn't that what family is for? I have no intention of helping you. I am afraid that you have no choice in the matter. Try to resist, and I will demonstrate the power that the warp holds over mortals. Come to think of it, I might even take some pleasure in doing so. I will do as you require, but I will find to the void with you. The blade flashes in the dim light, and drops of blood appear in your palm. For a brief moment you feel nauseous, your head is spinning, and then quiet whispers begin to flood your mind. More and more sourceless voices echo each other, drowning out your own thoughts, replacing them with a singular urge. Go. to the gate. Willpower check failed. The voice in your head giggle and mock your desperate outcry. You feel this intruding influence forcing you onto your feet and making you take a step toward the gate, looming at the center of the chamber. He wants me to open the gate. Of course he does. In the gateway arch, you see a cogitator with human likeness built into the front panel. As you approach, the torso twitches slightly. This is a servitor, an obedient automaton created from a lobotomized human being. The sentinel returns its head to you, one of its eye sockets lighting up with two ember-like irises. Tech use 30, examine the device. Succeed. You carefully inspect the design of the gate cogitator. What immediately catches your eye is a strange alloy that would use the material for the machine component, some of which are unfamiliar to you. You suspect that you were looking at a technological relic known as archaeotech. The servitor on the gate begins to move. With the screeching and groaning of metal, it leans forward, closer to you. Its lower jaw opens with a drawn-out shriek, much wider than the jaw of a living human could. The servitor's mouth is filled with sharp metallic fangs that glint in the dim light. The vid screen to the right of you lights up, showing strings of mysterious symbols on a green background. A whisper runs through your consciousness, insisting, demanding sacrifice. The voices that filled your head after Whitfear wounded you with his blade did not go away. On the contrary, their source coiled itself into a tight knot somewhere in the depths of your mind. The sentinel's jaws clamp around your hand, puncturing your skin and sinking into your flesh. A few dark drops fall into the servitor's throat, and immediately you hear humming as the servo motors start up and the pumps stir into motion. The vid screen of the cogitator flickers. Several long minutes pass. The sentinel's jaw remained closed, and you are beginning to feel sick. Perhaps if you were leaning against the gate, you could catch your breath, and maybe even close your eyes and pretend none of this ever happened. High levels of caustic humors. The subject is in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance? You do not understand where this quiet voice is coming from, crackling like static. Is it the sentinel? The cogitator? Is it a figment of your weary mind? Whichever it is, you can clearly hear every word. Yes, I do require assistance. Pain shoots through your head and subsides just as quickly. It would seem the entity coiled in your consciousness does not have the ability to do you any real harm. Request accepted. Initiate defense protocol. Turrets. Well, there's still another way. Coonrad's gonna leave because he's a freaking wuss. Let's check the warrant chamber.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
The enormous gate matches the importance of the thing they protect. The massive doors are made of heavy magnum and look impregnable. Let it be known that by my will and by the true words of this document, I appoint this person to be the bearer of the warrant of trade, and bestow upon unbroken by adversity to walk bravely first in the darkness, to hold boldly the reins of fate, to walk steadily the roads of thorn through pain to greatness. I think I read that all. I don't know. Escort the child of the house to safety. What madness is happening here? Who are you? Who addresses me? Temporary obnubilation is following acute stress. Mobile unit of the warrant sentinel standing by. I need a weapon. I'm utterly defenseless. Distance from the current location to the nearest arsenal. Initiating situational calculation. Are you the warrant sentinel? Mobile unit of the warrant sentinel designed as a personal escort of the child of the house and means of communicating with the rogue trader's subject. Mobile unit standing by. Lead me away from here. Middle and upper decks, assuming the probability of safe placement in areas of concentration of armed units. Calculating. To prevent unauthorized units from breaching the warrant chamber, preemptive sealing must be initiated. The mobile unit will start executing the received order immediately after the safety of the warrant is secured.
It's about time.
Is it now? Fight selflessly and lower not your bloodied hands so the last foe of humankind is slain. Anything else around here? Trying to press Alt like I do in Baldur's Gate, but seal the warrant chamber. We have done that. Easiest quest ever. We close the door. Master Seren the Magnificent, whatever are you doing in the warring chamber? How did you... Throne preserve me, what is the meaning of this? Conrad Voightfear is a traitor. When we parted ways on the officer's deck, he stunned me somehow and brought me here. What? He intended to take revenge on Theodora for an old grudge and become the rogue traitor himself. Oh, holy God, Emperor. I presume he is the one responsible for the mutiny. And Master Seren, I wish to remind you that you are to refer to the Lord Captain as Lady Theodora. So it would seem, but he is not here and we have a mutiny to end. Indeed, indeed. That is easier said than done, of course. But seeing one of Lady Theodora's heirs alive inspires at least some degree of optimism. You are in a bad way, Seren the Magnificent. I can treat your wounds. I have a Medicaid kit with me. And for the love of the throne, now is not a good time to be walking around the decks without means of self-defense. He took everything away from me, so... My health, my weapon, my dignity... But mostly my dignity.
Stand in my way.
See, inventory, yeah, we have a gun. Let's equip the gun. Medicaid kit.
I don't have time for this.
Let's equip the chest plate. There we go. What does this do? Is this any different? Gives us 25% armor. That's pretty good. I'm definitely gonna put that on. All right. Then we gotta go through this door over here. We're probably gonna have to fight something on the way.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Avalor, are you gonna come with?
The spearhead of the Imperium.
Journal. Oh, maybe I should accept Avalord's
Marching on.
medical.
I tire of idleness. Let's move.
What advice do you seek?
Doubt is for the weak.
I'm at your service.
Brace for impact. Strike.
I'm not interested.
Let's put that down there.
I'm always ready.
Sometimes you consult the appropriate treatise on
F1.
Imperialis and weigh every step. Sometimes, though, you just fire your biggest cannon and save the day.
There we go. That is a noticeable improvement. Now you're prepared for the trials ahead. The lower decks are teeming with heretics instigating the rabble of revolt, but that is the least of our problem. The ships and forces are rounding up the scoundrels and suppressing the resistance. The situation on the middle decks is much worse, although strike teams have already been dispatched there. All communication with the bridge and engineering bay was lost, so apart from scattered broadcasts, we have no information to go on. But that's not the worst of all. All the jolt and shaking are most alarming. These are signs that the navigator and the master helmsman are having difficulty translating the ship out of the warp and into real space. In the worst case, they've already lost control of the process, and we all have precious few moments to live. In the best case, if we manage to reach the navigator's sanctum and get a handle on the situation, some aboard this vessel may yet survive. The navigator's sanctum. Very well. Will you lead the way? Absolutely, Seren the Magnificent. Let us proceed. To arms, loyal sons and daughters of the God Emperor. Fight the heresy and corruption that threatens to consume our home, and with all your might, destroy those who have dared. The Lord Captain is calling your crew to battle, which means the vault nests are set up for broadcast transmission, not message exchange. Splendid. Well, the rogue traitor inspires proper resolve to fight in her subject. You and I shall prove that her trust in us is well deserved. Onward. Yep, we gotta fight a whole bunch of
The Emperor
doofuses.
is with us.
I'll turn you into corpse starch.
That's not the seneschal's job.
Too far? Really?
Victory is imminent.
That was embarrassing.
Indeed. One fewer target.
Okay. So two heretic cutthroats get to do it before I do. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We had 7, so we already killed one of them. Would have been nice to have not wasted that last thing. You missed.
Brace yourself, Abelard. You didn't stand a chance. Not a
Do shot on the
problem
run.
for me.
Have 2 AP left, so let's go ahead and shoot down burst fire.
Nothing of value has been lost.
Hey, I say that all the time. This character truly is me. We're down to 4. 3 are going to get to do their turn before Abelard. They only have like 3 HP, it looks like. So, I mean, you know.
My ears are ringing. It will be done.
Get chainsawed, bud.
I'd rather not. At your beck and call.
Brace for impact. Let's go.
Nothing opposing me was your biggest mistake. Already done. All too easy. Nothing of value has been lost.
Nice, I got a double. I'm happy with that. Or we have skill points we can do. One rank's available, so we can do choose skill. Awareness. Or let's do demolition. Next. And ready, go. That marksman immediately spends all their AP and MP, gaining 30% bonus cover efficiency. I think rapid fire is probably the best thing to do. Apply selection. Alright, we're level 2. Let's go to Abelard and do the same thing. Reckless Strike. And Medicae. Okay. Abelard and myself are now level 2. We can move forward. Just packing his cargoes.
Victory awaits.
Oh, a gun. I'll use the pistol. I mean, why not, right?
Follow my lead.
What advice do you seek?
Doubt is for the weak.
Alright, we gotta go through the door. Here's the map of the void ship. It consists of several parts. Okay, navigator sanctum. Let's go. That was a quick load.
A new challenge for me.
And so he will enter the halls of the blinded guide and witness the radiance of the final dawn through the cracks and fall victim to a whim of fate. Master Seren the Magnificent, watch your head. A pipe. Theodora, would it be too much to ask that you phrase your soothsaying plainly for once? That was too close. Sorry, old man. The voices are so loud I can't even hear myself. They shriek, they sing, they... Oh, Abelard, how they sing. Seren the Magnificent, this is Theodora Class, personal psyker and diviner of her ladyship Theodora von Valentius. Theodora, I'm not drunk, old man. I'm suffering the effects of the warp that is seeping through these walls. I see the ship's fate to die in the waves of the Imperium. Fall under the burning rays of the final dawn, and in the roaring blaze I see a figure standing. Who is it? Who? I have no answer. The entity in your consciousness shrieks and crawls in deeper, its claws scraping against the walls of your mind as if the present is trying to hide from the seer standing before you. A diviner, are you? The voices from beyond the threshold whisper to me. Sometimes their murmurs are clear, they grant insight. Sometimes they drive me mad. But I am patient, I know how to listen and discern. But now, with this clamor around me, too many voices, too loud. And you are Seren the Magnificent von Valentius, one of Lady Theodora's heirs. Well then, we finally meet. Officer frequency to all who can hear me. Those with a weapon in their hands are to gather on the officer's deck at once. I repeat, gather on the officer's deck at once and prepare to launch a counterattack. It's Eagle Threat. Emperor's Providence, the other heir lived as well. Quickly, you must head to... Not so fast, old man. If we drown in the warp, no number of Lady Theodora's heirs will be of use to us anymore. If Edelthred, like me, is not yet surrendered either mind or body to the mercy of the warp, then he can still hold out a little without us. Blast it. You're right. First we need to reveal what is happening here. How do you know who I am? What, you think Lady Theodora doesn't ask me to peek into the darkness behind the backs of those she sees as her prospective heirs? I have seen you, Sarah, and I have seen the footsteps of your past and the wounds of your heart. What are you doing here? The whispers called me. The ones I can make out among all the screams and screeches, anyway. Those who were rocking this boat hit us where it hurt. They hit after the navigator, our guide through the warp. Other whispers called me to the Imperium, but it was too late. I heard the cry of our Master Cog and the silence that followed. What, you don't mean the chief engine seer is... Yes, Abelard, dead, without a doubt. And the voices wail, heralding countless nightmares, cackling at each soul among the hundreds that are now joining the warp. The shriek from the navigator's sanctum was louder than the rest, and it's better that we serve the navigator in some lever pool or from a cooling module or a cook from the middle decks. We must see if the navigator is well. Oh, no. Nothing is well about him. Can't you feel the chill crawling under your skin? The eyes watching you? The warp eyes has already encased the bulkhead. What follows is calamity. But we're not just going to stand here and take it, are we? The state of things in here suggests there is a navigator around. Maybe one who's crippled or at death's door, but still kicking. And since our skin hasn't peeled off our faces just yet, his third eye might be closed. At worst, it's a little roughed up. So what are we moving around for? Let's see her protect that noble mutant while we're still alive. Let's go through this door, this big old door. We're all selected, and we're in battle. Got about 5 guys to take out here. 3v5 should go okay. And we have a psyker, so we need to take out the other psyker, I'd say.
Will do. Speak on.
1 down. The psyker is down from 14 to 3. Use her ability to study enemies. So we have 1, and then Abelard gets to do his turn. A sharpshooter with only 3 hit points, so... Well, he wasted his turn.
Follow my lead. I will do my due. I took care of this one.
Get wrecked, nerd.
It will be done.
Alright. Got a brawler who's going to do a little damage to Adira. Oh, I missed him. Crap.
Nothing I can't do. I shall not fear. Suits my
Can I get him?
purposes.
I got him through the wall, but it only did 2, so he's still got a chance to be alive and kicking for a little longer. Cast misfortune on me. What a jerk.
In the Imperium. Anything else? Well.
I did some damage to Adira. Oh, there's a sharpshooter right there.
Not this Scryer's job. No can do.
Are we out of AP? Is that what we're out of? You missed, buddy.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. Victory is imminent.
There we go. That was still very easy because he only had 3 hit points. There wasn't much else he could do besides kill over. The creature in the chair appears as if it has become one of its throne. You see pink parchment-like skin stretched between the seat and the limbs that have too many joints for a normal human being. The navigator is breathing heavily, the air whistling as it exits through the 2 dark, gill-like slits on its cheek. The creature's eyes are shut, the 2 ordinary eyes as well as the third one that sits in the center of its forehead. I believe Master Vespiatus still lives. The servants are dead, but the chamber, thank the Emperor, is still sealed from the warp. We will have a chance of leaving this place alive. What is wrong with him? Wounded, exhausted, fighting about the endless horrors of the warp that are forcing their way into his head. Pick one. Your time is short. The voice is coming from the Voss grill at the base of the bizarre chair. It is unclear if the navigator is able to produce human speech. Our time is short to do what? Fall to your knees, mortals, and behold the final dawn. He came from beyond. His body is not his. Adira's scream is echoed by the silent cries in your head. The unseen creature triumphs at the side of the navigator, succumbing to the paroxysms of corruption. His march thunders under the burden of hopes. Unseal your hearts, and I will flood your souls with myriads of words and meaning, each one a portent of salvation within me. The navigator continues to convulse violently in his seat, shrieking and cackling, but then his fit stops abruptly. His face is drenched in black and crimson. The dark ooze from under his third eyelid is turned from a trickle into a stream mixed with the blood coming out of his nose, and there's purplish swelling around the eye. Run, flee from this place while I still have strength. I can contain the intrusion, but not for long. We must begin the translation. Leave the warp. But it can't be done without the Master Helmsman's help. I cannot bear to see his agony any longer. I'd rather put an end to it. You can't. It's only thanks to Master Vespiatus that we're still alive. If he falls, this whole ship is doomed. Let him do his duty. You know it's the last thing he'll ever do if he lasts that long. I want to help you. Tell me how. Run. The sanctum will be sealed. I will hold it off. Hold on and wait for the signal from the Master Helmsman. Then I will commence the translation. So run. Run. Who torments you? The edge. Kneel before the ascent of a new champion. When the rite is complete, this shell will burst, and thousands of mauls will accept the sacrifice offered to the edge of daybreak by the bringer of twilight, the one marked by the will of gods. Each word rings through your head like the tolling of a bell, as if countless voices joined in, screaming into your ears. For a moment you lose your bearings, and this unholy chorus must be trying to confound you with sound not meant for this world. What is this supposed to mean? A rite, sacrifice offered. Oh, my heart told me that Kunrad was not deterred by the defeat in the warrant chamber. What? Coonride betrayed Lady Theodora? But how is that? How, he was a dog, and I didn't hear a thing, I swear. The footfalls of the bringer of twilight are veiled by the will of his masters. Tear out your eyes, she who is to become the champion's servant for you needs him no longer. The navigator is alive, but still barely so. What do we do now? The ship can only begin the translation with the assistance of the master helmsman if he is still alive. It is worth a try. We must get to the bridge where we will need support. Our only option is to fight our way to the officer's deck and join forces with Ethelthred and his people. I believe we will also find Lady Theodora there. She must have heard the call to arms that the servo scroll relayed to us earlier. Let's be honest. Good luck and thank you. The navigator does not give a response. Black tears mixed with blood are streaming under the closed eyelids. In the box at the base of the chair is bellowing out static interspersed with distant echoes of otherworldly laughter. The navigator seemed dead, only the slight movement of his chest and the twitching of his eyelids lets you know that he's still clinging to life.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Anything you can give me there, buddy? He has some okay weapons. The chainsword is still better, so we're not going to take any of that. We're just going to say no.
A nice little stroll.
None shall stand in my way.
A lot has happened in the first hour. We're still about 59 minutes left of the first session here.
It's about time.
Yeah, that pipe was caused by a deer. A locked door. How do we unlock the door?
Victory awaits.
So where are we headed? Officer's deck. We gotta go the other way. I went the wrong way. I don't want any of that. I want to go to the officer's deck. I had a blast when I played this a few months ago, and I'm definitely having... I think I'm having more of a blast now because I'm playing a longer session. Might be where I go with this from here on out. I'm enjoying this. I really am. Like I said, still got about an hour left of the first session. Well, you're not going to get the ship because you're dead now. I shall pity not your enemies. I shall heed not their pleas.
Show them no mercy. I will take you down.
Somebody shoot this bit.
God, Emperor, move through me.
I shall betray not your tenets, but betray one step from them. I told you he would protect us. My God, my light, my Emperor. The white-haired warrior turns to face you, her dark eyes blazing. The weapon quivers in her hand, and for a brief moment it seems she's not going to stop and instead continue eliminating every target she sees, starting with you. Sister Argenta! The Senescal's voice carries the weight of a command, and it seems to bring the warrior out of her battle trance. Sister Argenta, it is a relief to see you in good health and well armed. We require all the forces we can muster. The young woman called Argenta lowers her weapon and scans your small party with an intense gaze. Then she sets her sight on you. Your face. It is unfamiliar. Who are you? Seren the Magnificent von Valantius, the Lord Captain's heir. Argenta gives you another stern appraisal. You catch something strange in the dark depths of her eyes, some internal struggle or a wordless question. In the end, however, she nods. The hour is dark and daunting. The ship abounds with corruption. The faces of friends are twisted by sneers of heresy. The eyes of comrades are igniting with the arch-enemy's hunger. I will stand shoulder to shoulder with anyone willing to halt the advance of the dark forces. That is why you have come, isn't it? Sister, I beg of you. Now is not the time for interrogation. The ship is under attack by heretics. We have been betrayed by our esteemed master of whispers. The Eagle thread the air is waiting for our aid, and Lord Captain Theodora is expecting a report on our success. Of course, we are here to deal with the situation, so I suggest we all do just that. I am no traitor, sister. You can be assured of that. If you speak truthfully, the Emperor will not forsake you. If you were lying, you will not escape his retribution. I cannot wait to rain fire upon more heretics, each and every one of them. What is happening on the officer's deck? Massacre, my lord. And heretics are not just killing the crew. Some kind of blight is sweeping through the decks, filling the air. I saw people going mad the moment they breathed it in, screaming out, seeing their dead comrades, tearing out their eyes. I implore you, my lord, be on your guard. We must get to the main hall of the deck. Through this door. I will go with you. I cannot wait to destroy those who encroached on the God Emperor's domain. We will follow. For now, we will hold off any heretics who might try to crawl in through the cracks to join the main assault. And we'll take a look at the government generators while we're at it. Those villains made a mess of the cables. Oh, I wish we had a technomat with us. We'll see what we can do with that one. Good to hear it, sister. Ready. May Terra's light illuminate our path through fire and darkness. Hold tab to highlight options. I've been holding Alt this entire time. That's why we've not seen anything for the last hour and 10 minutes. There we go doing it. I just held Alt again. Oh my god. Alright. It was close with a lot of things actually probably open with the right tool. Okay. Goods. Free stuff? That's pretty good. Give it to my inventory. Take it. Open the jam door, click on the icon. The character with the highest tech use skill will make a skill check.
I rise to the occasion.
The success of your actions in the game is determined by the roll of a 100-sided die. Each skill check is determined difficulty between 100 or 100. To succeed, you must roll a value less than the sum of the stated difficulty and the value of the used skill. For example, check difficulty equals 10. Character's tech use skill equals 40. So you have to roll less than a 30. I like the 100-sided die. I'm used to the 20-sided die in like Baldur's Gate, so I like that.
Your doom has been foretold.
Show them no mercy.
One of our guys, Argent, is in here. So we have a whole bunch of more heretic cutthroats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. 4v7.
What an unfortunate turn of fate.
4v5. Idira's lightning thing is super good. I have to use it every chance I can get.
That is not my destiny.
Okay.
My place is at the fore. Someone else can do this.
Yeah, we're gonna let you do that. Yeah, that dodged. Yeah, you're pretty bad at this. I'm also pretty bad at this, apparently.
Already done. Suits my purposes.
The rapid fire worked in that case. So we're down to a 4v4. Argent is in the back there, so we're going to let her come. Come in. She has to use all 6 of her MPs.
Battlefield in righteous fury.
Can I get a shot in on him? I mean, we have 56% chance. She hit a chair instead. She hit the exact same chair. Good job, Argenta. What do you have against chairs?
I know what is to come. Anything else? Well,
Oh, here comes some more. Oh, wonderful. Luckily, we've taken no damage so far, so we can handle it.
I'm not so sure. No can do.
Get full cover, why not?
An expected result.
Exact replica of the Voidship voidship sits on the pedestal. Labels indicate the main compartments and decks of the vessel.
Not a problem for me.
Okay, well, let's try again.
Not my specialty. Suits my purposes.
Okay.
All too easy. I'll pass. Absolutely not.
High momentum.
Argenta, can you do this? Are you gonna still have a problem with the chair? No, okay. She obliterated him.
I'll do it. I will not. I refuse.
I hope this is the last of them. Ended up being a 4v11. Six enemies left. I'd love to get a rapid fire burst of some kind. Just go nuts. I can do this though, right?
Will do. What an unfortunate
Oh
turn.
yeah, I can. That did a lot. We're down to 2 baddies now. That was yeah. You guys made a mistake.
A tactically sound approach.
Already done. Not a problem for me. Suits my purposes.
Man, I'm sucking today. My character's sucking in this battle.
Each strike is a prayer. As the Emperor commands, I act.
We have an LOS to this guy.
Justice for the weak. None can escape
Yes, we do.
the Emperor's judgment.
I won't tolerate weakness.
We're just not going to take much of any of this. We're going to drag one of these to the inventory.
None shall
The rest went to
stand
cargo.
in my way.
Well, yeah, we got to get our cargo emptied. Attack use
That
plus
didn't
20.
go as I'd hoped.
Yes?
They say a little bit of humility.
So we
never
got to go
hurts
somewhere
anyone.
else.
I help others better themselves by wholeheartedly humiliating them at every step.
How may I serve the dynasty?
join me in prayer. Onward!
Anything else? I mean, we can go to that door on the side there and maybe...
I'll lay claim to the stars. Excellence matters.
Okay.
It's about time.
That's a closet. Anything in here, though? There's some goods.
Done.
Mantle of Heroism. And 2 multi-keys. We're going to take the multi-keys. Why not? Medkits! I'm happy with that. We need all the medkits we can get.
Victory awaits.
No, no, no. I don't want to close it. I don't want to close it. No.
We shall prevail.
Explosives. Do we have anyone with
I'm
explosives?
restless.
Melt a charge.
That is not the Emperor's will.
Not my specialty.
I'm not interested. I'd rather not.
Let's see. Just ran to myself.
Tire of idleness, let's move.
Blow the door up.
I did fine.
That's one way to do it.
Doubt is for the weak. I won't tolerate weakness. None shall stand in my way.
Everyone come over here, please. We're gonna get through this door.
What in the world? Excellence matters.
Fallen steel is blocked the path to the lift. You'll have to look for another way to Edelthrid.
Follow my lead.
Is this a lift? No.
It's about time.
There's goods in here. Yeah, we'll take the cargo. Got a holy gift.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Attention to detail is the key to success.
There's the multi-key, except the bench isn't even its cogitator, torn from its proper plates, are stacked in a rough semblance of a barricade.
Victory awaits.
Y'all might want to get off this bridge. She gonna blow. The roar of the flames rings in your ears, and the choking smoke makes you cough and gasp for air. You instinctively recoil from the scorching heat, wiping your face. A moment later, a hazy silhouette forms in the raging wall of fire. You are surrounded by ear-splitting noise and screaming, yet you distinctly hear the sounds of footsteps, and then you see the figure walking out of the fire towards you. It is Theodora von Valancius. Are you lost, my heir? An apparition, a sorcerer's apparition, trickier the wisp or the warp. Sister, you will lower your weapon. Threatening the Lord Captain is outrageous. Aren't you in pain? Pain is but a reflection of one's weakness, Seren. To renounce weakness of pursuit. To renounce weakness of spirit in the pursuit of greatness is the only path to heights worthy of a rogue traitor. Theodora watches you without blinking. Her snake-like gaze almost makes you forget about the fire searing you, leaving burns on your skin. I can lead you out of these flames, Seren, show you a path, rid you of pain, and give you a weapon so you may defeat your enemies. Beside, your mouth begins to salivate. Each word Theodora speaks is like music to your ears. The intimacy that now dwells in the deepest recesses of your mind is pleading, begging, demanding that you give her an immediate answer, and that answer can be nothing other than acceptance. Do not listen to this abomination, Seren the Magnificent. If there is naught but his light in your heart, if you are resolute in your faith, then step into the flame. The Emperor protects. His faithful will not be deterred by either darkness or deceitful promises, nor will the fire burn those who carry the torch of faith in their soul. To the void with you. We need to follow Lady Theodora before we suffocate in this furnace. The people, Seren the Magnificent, the survivors in the middle decks, we must help the crew. Lead them out, find a way around. Over the roaring flames, you hear distant sounds, frightened voices, screams muffled and distorted if there are a body of water between you and them. Oh boy, this is actually a tough decision. Then we'll miss our chance to eat up with Seren the Magnificent. What are we waiting for? It's actually a tough decision. I'm probably gonna make a different decision when the game fully comes out. So I wanna take the selfish route. Take my pain away and give me power. Hereticus plus 12. You offer Theodora your hand, and the air around you seems to tighten, becoming thick and vicious, enveloping you and your companions in an impenetrable veil. Theodora smiles at you. Her radiant, piercing blue eyes suddenly remind you of void spheres. I will show you the way. Go on, close your eyes. I wanted to see what this route was about. I really did. I really wanted to see what this route was about. Alright, press any key to continue. Numerous valuables and trophies are carelessly dumped into a single pile. It seems whoever put them here did not give any thought to it. We're gonna take that because someone might be able to equip it, right?
That's not the Seneschal's job.
No one can equip it. Oh, wow. Give you a melee weapon. Little worse than what you got, but it's about the same.
A new challenge for me. I won't tolerate weakness.
Alright, where are we going? We have a cutscene here. Theodora's dead.
It's about time.
A bizarre fragment hung on a trophy board. The light, smooth surface of the object is dotted with dark spots and crumbling holes.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Can anyone equip this?
I'll pass.
Someone else can do this.
Oh, yes, you can. There you go. There you have a free helmet.
The Whispers told me how.
Theodora's body is sprawled up on the large, blood-drenched desk. The Archmilitan's corpse, still clutching a weapon, is lying on the floor by one of the bulkheads. The Sister of Battle surveys the scene, her gaze lingering on the Archmilitan's body. Emperor, accept thy faithful souls. No. Aye, Lord Captain, I didn't hear a thing, not a whisper, not a breath. It was so loud. Why didn't I foresee this? Abelard, stunned, takes a few steps forward and leans heavily on the edge of his desk. His eyes are locked on Theodora's body. Lord Captain, who would even dare, unless that rat Voidsphere? Almost certainly. He loathes Theodora. First, betrayal, now the murder of the rogue traitor, and Mort. How could Mort have failed her so terribly? The Archmilitant was born on a death world. He had lightning-fast reflexes. I can look at things in my own way. If you find something that might bear the imprint of the killer, just give it to me and I'll try to see what secret it holds. You lean closer to the body. The cause of death is apparent. Into the rogue traitor's life was an auto-pistol shot, an extraordinarily accurate one at that. Theodora's face bears an expression of surprise, the last emotion she experienced in life. Something on the floor catches your eye, a heap of blood-spattered parchments and scrolls that might have fallen off the desk. As you lean down for a closer look, you notice something else. Small shards of glass scattered on the floor. Theodora, what do these shards tell you? I see streaks of color, luminescence, blue lights, faces drawing closer. Lady Theodora and Coonrad, and what is that? Something dark. Enormous. Oh, Seren, this last thing was something nasty, that's for sure. Tainted witchcraft. You cannot tell if Argenta's remarks directed to glass shards or Adira herself. Adira, would you try touching Theodora? You might be able to see the killer through her eyes. It doesn't work like that. I can try to read the memories of objects, but dead bodies are a different story. Something like that would require her soul, and after what we saw on the officer's desk, I wouldn't risk searching for it in the warp. Inspect the shards by the desk. It is difficult to say what exactly was broken. The object fell on the floor, and that is as much as you can say as certain. Upon closer examination, the shards appear iridescent rather than completely transparent, as if they had been submerged in promethium. Inspect the papers. We got an item received. Reports, account, dispatches. You go over the scrolls until you stumble upon a document that is starkly different from the rest. It is a handwritten letter signed with the initials XC and a seal with a symbol that is vaguely familiar to you. But try as you might, you cannot recall its meaning. Yes, the crucible of battle calls me once more. No, wait, we must see if we can find anything. Adira, you can't bring her back. Let her go. You give up so easily, old man? I expected as much from the sister. It's not saying she has a heart, but you... Oh no, I'll get to the bottom of this, and I'll find the one responsible for murdering the Lord Captain. When I do, that scum will regret the day they were born. So we need to head to the voidship bridge. We're 90 minutes into this 2-hour session. Hope you're enjoying it all thus far. If you're still with me this entire time, I hope you are. Be sure to like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. And yeah, let's keep going. Everyone has skill points, so let's go ahead and do that. Rapid reload, that sounds pretty nice. Let's do that. And Medicaid. Upgrade Adept Doctrine, Tech Use. Oh, let's go Logic. And Fresh Target. When the Adept attacks an enemy with 100% wounds that suffer... Ooh, okay, that's actually pretty good. And the last but not least, Argenta. Rapid reload, I like that. And athletics.
A new challenge for me?
More dudes to fight, and this guy with a gun for an arm.
Fire and vigor our Emperor imbue us.
I will take you down. He wants some more.
6 of them. Holy crap! Yeah, we gotta take the melting scorch. Not the scorching out.
Duty go hand in hand.
My prescience has failed me.
Argenta's who I want here.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time. One fewer target. At your beck and call.
It's the next melee attack, yeah. Okay.
All too easy. Nothing I can't. Opposing me was your biggest mistake. Already done. Nothing I can't do.
Oh, we missed. Crap.
God Emperor, move through me.
No attack
Fire
opportunity
in my
there.
heart.
The melt is down, that's good.
I'll do it.
Shot on the run,
Faith without deeds is worthless.
and we still missed. Only 2 left. There's 3 left. Just one over there. He's nearly dead.
They who discern the future on the battlefield.
Oh, it did
Brace yourself,
friendly fire to Argenta.
Abelard.
Ah, my bad. Forget he can do that.
Not this Scryer's job. Stop it! I've never felt pain like this.
Ooh. Oh, someone... Idira needs a med kit. Sat.
It will be done.
Avenge him and then...
I'm not interested.
Absolutely not. Not my specialty.
Have to hope she doesn't die, because I can't get to it. I can't get to her right now.
Suits my purposes.
You know what amazes me? What you just managed to do there, buddy?
Not a problem for me.
It really is not a problem for you.
I'll
This
do it.
amazes me how unlucky I've gotten all of a sudden. Come on, let's do a burst. At least let the burst hit him once.
Eradicated.
Thank you. Last one hit him. Adira, okay, Adira is back to full health.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Arrogance plus 5 TGH if their int is less than 35. Well, that doesn't help me. Does anyone else have... Is anyone stupid?
None shall stand in my way.
Is anyone stupid? To the voidship bridge. I'm not even running this on an SSD and it's loading fast. Love it.
I rise to the occasion. It's about time.
Who are you? Are you friend or foe? Traitor, right when we needed all forces to deliver a decisive blow, you stepped aside. Do not even try to claim that my boss cast did not reach you. I sense the mark of the warp on you, an echo with the powers that are ravaging this ship. What is it? The aftermath of the terrors that you had to face, or an admission of guilt? I choose my ally as well. Shameless filth. How dare you? Let us leave this conversation for another time, Master Adelthrid. It is a great sorrow that I inform you that Lady Theodora of Amalantis is dead. What? You! This is your doing. Master Adelthrid, note, we have remained in each other's sights ever since Seren broke free from Kunrad's scheme. The Lord Captain was killed by another's hand, and by the Golden Throne I can surmise whose hand it was. Adelthrid shuddered and grabbed his shoulder as you watched the sleeve of his doublet burst open and 2 bone grids pierced through the fabric. No matter what ritual Kunrad is performing there, the warp is too strong. I can't withstand it. I feel my body is changing with every second. As the warp rings in the air, this is the end. We will perish in the warp, and along with the warrant and all the dynasty's heirs. The enemy of humanity is victorious. Adira looks anxiously at Adelthrid, then she glances back at you. I've seen it before. We better get away from it. Changes are already accelerating. The ship can still be steered out of the warp, but we first must restore communication between the bridge and the navigator's sanctum. Adelthrid stares at you and his eyes harden with cold resolve once more. And we have no right to bow our heads. You can see Kunrad's voice here. That's Kunrad, okay. Clearly in the gloom of the bridge, he is holding the now familiar broken blade, saying with dark drops that have seemed to have a perilous glimmer to them. We are out of time. Adelthrid bites his knuckle, desperately thinking. You can see how a wave runs through the whites of Adelthrid's eyes that begin to fill with a sickly yellowness. Void Virtue, duplicitous cur, the rogue traitor's death will be avenged. What, Theodora is dead? Voidfear stares at you in seemingly genuine bewilderment. No, that can't be, not now. I still haven't. Adelthrid roars of mad, fanatical rage. I shall not die idly side by side with one who has betrayed his blood. If the last thing I do is to serve the Imperium, is to rip out the throat of an enemy of humanity, then such is the God Emperor's will. Adelthrid, don't. Oh, fun.
Feel my wrath!
I'll turn you into corpse starch.
Okay, fine. Let's see. Oh, let's fight it. Let's fight what looks like a Nurgle warp creature. It's chaos. Okay, chaos spawn. 120 HP.
Forge ahead! I'll pass. Absolutely not.
I'm gonna move back. Okay. 7 out of 8, not bad. Oh my god. Okay, this changes, this complicates things.
All too easy. Already done.
I missed. Oh my god. There's a bunch of heretics we're gonna take out too. This is not gonna be easy.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
Can I shoot one of these guys down? We have a 91% chance.
None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
That doesn't do anything to him. To use a unique ability called a heroic act in desperate measure, momentum is required. Depending on the actions of your party in combat, the momentum bar will fill or deplete. A high momentum value allows the character to use the heroic act ability. A low value grants access to desperate measures. Both abilities can completely change the course of battle, but every party member can only use one of them and only once in a single combat. Where is it? Is the thing. Momentum 176. We need 175 for heroic act.
I'll do it.
This thing is gonna do some damage. Oh boy, yeah, this is no bueno. Yeah, this is no bueno. Our momentum is how much is it? It's 197.
On it.
Cleanses the body.
Maybe I shouldn't have used that one because that one's going to do friendly fire damage to people around us.
But of course.
This thing is too close for comfort.
Let's patch you up.
I stand in recognition.
That's not the Seneschal's job. Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. Indeed.
He dodged it all? Wow, okay. Everyone missed. We're good there. He's gonna get an attack opportunity, yep. Oh, what? I'm down for a turn. God dang it.
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone.
Whispers.
Get him.
Oh my
Well
god. Oh
I will
my
avenge you.
goodness.
High momentum.
Doubt is for the weak.
I see what happens. He takes out these cutthroat. We maybe should take those out first. Then he has no method of healing.
I'll do it.
So he's down to 2 healers, basically. I feel like we should restart. Now that I know all this, but...
At your beck and call.
He just took out his next to last one. He's at 118.
Time to
We're all dead. I mean, this is gonna go the wrong way.
The same end.
I hope it auto-saved.
Suits my purposes. Nothing I can't do.
Yeah, the rapid fire is the key here, but it's just a matter of he can do, so we have to get his cutthroats down.
High momentum.
Curse it.
Oh, you dumbass.
Emperor, protect the fallen.
I'm calling that myself. Yeah, we're done. We're screwed. I move and he's gonna get me. Yeah, we're screwed. So we're meant to defeat him. That is what I needed to know. We're meant to defeat him. It's just we need to, you know, do the thing. We need to actually be able to be good at the game. Yeah, you know, let's try again. But we know what we're supposed to do now. We're supposed to kill his dudes before then. Can I skip this? I can't skip this cutscene. Trying to remember all the choices I did. Yeah, I can't skip it. So we're gonna have to watch this guy turn into chaos spawn again and go through all of that.
More enemies to face judgment. We are truly blessed this day.
Crush them!
Alright, defeat the warp creature. We're gonna change our methods of work, because we figured out that he can heal by killing these cutthroats. So with that, we're gonna put some of our guys, we're gonna scatter them about.
Anything else? Be gone.
One of your guys is down. So there's 5 more. We gotta take down 5 more. The spawn's gonna get his turn next. Then myself. Oh, Adira's down. Oh my god.
Me.
Enjoy your luck while you still draw breath.
Can I rapid fire a bunch of these guys?
All too easy. Watch and learn. Ah, another clean strike.
Oh my god, he's just going ham on Adira. Well, there goes one of your guys. You can't heal off of him anymore. Well, we've killed the two that were going to be taking turns before us, so...
My faith shields me. Eradicated.
Another one bites the dust. He only has 2 ways of healing now.
As the Emperor commands, I act. This is unacceptable. I will not. Faith without deeds is worthless.
Trying to get
Guided
back.
by faith.
Because we see how ham he's going on Adira. I don't want anyone else to get that treatment.
Follow my lead.
How much damage does this do? Hold on. 14 to 18. 14 to 18. Same thing for less AP. And that did decent damage. He's going to devour one of them.
Now
A year is
this
down.
is unacceptable.
Just a minor setback.
Oh my god.
Suits my purposes. Watch and learn.
Now I'll revert to more conservative.
Oh my god, it still did damage to Avalor? It didn't say he was in his line of fire. That's why I did it.
Nothing I can't do. Already done.
That is not the Emperor's will.
Can I get a line of sight to the target through here?
None can escape
Yes,
the Emperor's
okay, he can no longer devour and heal. So his 55 health is 55 health.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
Dang it, I missed. Avalor is next.
Ah, careful.
Medikit worked.
I will do like you.
Down to 39.
That was insulting. Not a problem for me.
Rapid fire.
Nothing I can't do.
Okay, 2 hits, 6 misses, but we
Suits my
got him down to
purposes.
24. Now there's another 7 down. This is going way better than last time because I know what I'm supposed to be doing. Trying to avoid Adelard if I can.
Eradicated.
Yes! It's necessary. Okay, we gotta do the next quest now, but we did it. The chaos spawn is down. Everyone's alive, everyone's healthy. But wow.
Let's move.
Okay, just keep getting all of our stuff that we need. Tech use is going to be nice to have. And awareness is going to be nice to have. Alright.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
All of these are good to have in our inventory, so let's... Okay.
Follow my lead.
Where to next, peeps? Where to next? I think probably over here.
Victory awaits. None shall stand in my way.
No? Okay.
It's about time.
Can't get over there.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Can any of us get over there? Oh, there we go. Report, Master Helmsman, system status report. By the Emperor, it's the Senescal, living and breathing. Well, there's a tricky question. The whole place is so overgrown with foul wicketry. We'll be scrubbing it off the vid screens for throne knows how long. How did you people survive in here? Must have been Providence. It better have been the Emperor's, not anyone else's. When they barged in here, the ones with the Master of Whispers, some officers charged them, but it wasn't even a fight. I grabbed whoever I could and dragged them behind the cogitators, and I prayed for our rescue. We need to reestablish contact with the navigator's sanctum. It is our only chance of escaping from the warp. Your words seem to knock the officers out of their stupor, and the air around you filled with voices and commands being issued. You hear someone sobbing, one of the survivors buckling under the stress. Abelard cuffs the crying officer without even looking. Restore the Vox channel to the navigator's sanctum. Ready the crew. Prepare for translation to real space. Sir the Magnificent, you may call me superstitious, but translation is not a good time to disregard rules. You are the only one who speaks for House von Valencia. You may not be the Lord Captain, but you, more than anyone else, deserve to take your place in the ritual that is about to commence. I am ready. Begin the ritual. It is customary for the Lord Captain to reside on the bridge. Lady Theodora is dead. Only her heir possesses the right to. Well, Edelthred is dead. He became a chaos spawn. A vision of unimaginable vileness appears before your eyes. The flickering image shifts and wavers as if the zero-feathered creature is constantly changing while still remaining the same. One of his eyes is engulfed in otherworldly fire. The other, a vessel of ancient evil, bores into you. Its voice seems to seep directly into your brain without ever reaching your ears. It resonates and merges with the voices that have already dug your foul roots into your consciousness. A moment later, you realize that all these voices are the myriad manifestations of the same caller that has finally invaded your mind. Mortal, who are you to oppose the very flows of fate? Did you stand in the path of another dynasty only to steal it? You accepted the call of the primordial truth and claimed that fate is your own, so be it. Are you the one that is behind all that is happening here? The one who addressed me and guided me out of the flame? No, for the boundless truth encompasses all. Merely one part of it reached out to you, and an answer you did. You could become the new champion. The demon peers into you. Your head begins to spin, your stomach turns, and vicious drops slither down your cheeks. This shard of reality drifting through my domain is merely the arena for one who dared to vie for the favor of the gods. The aspirant vowed to return with a trophy to procure that which elevates a mortal above others. A relic that could serve the edge of daybreak. That fate was assured in the scepter chosen, and that you broke the unbreakable. The aspirant was defeated, and thus gave birth to a new aspirant. Your image is woven into the tapestry of things to come. I see you on the day when the final dawn rises over the material metal world. When the gates of the realm of the sorcerer open and set the truth free, I see you at my side on the day I rise again. I am the will, the weaver of destinies, and today I will weave a thread of elusive possibilities and fickle chances. The thread that will lead you out of the maw of its reversibility. The thread that will guide you in the weapon of the return. The demon reaches towards you and seeks a ghostly claw into your chest. A terrible cold binds your body, and a cavalcade of hazy glimpses of a future yet unknown passes before your eyes. A flash of crimson purple, the images replace another in a violent kaleidoscope without ever letting you get a proper look at them. The path is set, child of the dawn. The thread is woven. Follow it. Servant of mine. Revorus turns around and looks up at you. He hesitates for a few moments and addresses Abelard, who is standing next to you. Senescal, the navigator's sanctum is silent. The vault signal is stable, which means the navigator gave his life battling the storm that nearly claimed the Von Valentia's flagship. We will honor his memory along with all who died this day. Senescal, will you tell us now? Who is that? Where's the Lord Captain? First Officer Abelard Seren is authorized to inform the officer. It is my greatest regret and indelible sorrow to inform you of the untimely passing of Lord Captain Theodora von Valentius, rogue traitor in the service of the Imperium. May her memory never fade in the annals of the dynasty. By right of blood succession and with the absence of other kin who could challenge this decision, it is hereby declared that the successor to Theodora von Valentius is Seren the Magnificent von Valentius, the rightful inheritor of the warrant of trade and the title of rogue traitor. The essential ascension ceremony will be held at a later time. In the interim, Abelard stops short and glares fiercely at the confused officer. Have you lost your tongues? Hail your lord. It is because of his toils that we all still live. The deed is done, Seren the Magnificent. My apologies. I meant to say Lord Captain. And with that, that's where we wrap up. I hope you enjoyed this first session of Rogue Trader. And it's a perfect wrapping up point. For now, I was going to do it. If you like this video, make sure to like it and hit that subscribe button to be notified of new videos every day. Living each one. It's the longest recording I've ever done of a video, and you're seeing it all at once. So that's going to do it. I will see you next time for more. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and yeah, feed that algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and all that sort of good stuff. And I will see you in the next episode.